Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a brand new language, one that's being invented, like, right now, to conjure these incredible images just out of thin air. It's part art history, part technical command, part pure imagination, and it's all built around something called a prompt. Now, what you're looking at here, this isn't a description of some painting that already exists. Nope, this is a command. It's an incantation, really, that you give to an AI like Midjourney to create something totally new. This is a prompt, and it is the key to this whole new universe of digital art. All right, so let's break down the anatomy of a prompt, piece by piece. We're going to start with its kind of unique vocabulary, then look at how it borrows from art history, get into some of the technical commands, and then we'll see where this whole thing is going next. Okay, so at its heart, creating AI art is all about communication. But, it's not just you talking to a machine. It's a global conversation. And out of that massive dialogue, a whole new dialect has popped up, specifically for tools like Midjourney. So everything, and I mean everything, starts with the prompt. But we are way beyond just typing "a cat sitting on a mat." Prompts today have evolved into these complex strings of keywords. They're like powerful levers that give you just an incredible amount of creative control. And to deal with all this new complexity, a whole new aesthetic vocabulary has just been born. And these aren't just random words, okay? They are like these perfect little packages of style. Take zombiecore. It's shorthand for this whole vibe, mixing dystopian realism with some gothic horror. Or what about cottage punk? It's not just cozy. It brings up this rustic, handmade feeling, but then injects it with a rebellious, kind of non-traditional twist. It's a shared idea that both the AI and the community just get instantly. And you see tons of these. All these cores and punks, and each one is basically a doorway to a totally unique world. Dinopunk, for example. You might get something that blends prehistoric vibes with futuristic tech. It's awesome! And this really shows you that this is a living language. I mean, frogcore, a word for a whimsical, naturey, slightly swampy aesthetic, it's the perfect example of a word that was just invented, then tested and refined by thousands of users, all working together out in the open. So, how does this all build on itself? Well, people aren't just making up new words. They are tapping into the entire history of art and photography and using established styles as these incredibly powerful magic words. I mean, just look at the difference here. A simple prompt like a landscape, you're probably going to get a pretty generic field. But when you start adding stylistic keywords like hyper-detailed rendering, a specific color scheme, and our new friend forest punk, you're not just getting a landscape. You are getting a mood, a whole specific world. And the library of styles people are pulling from is just enormous. Users have this massive toolkit of terms. You've got art movements like surrealism, photo techniques like cyanotype, digital tools like Unreal Engine, classic methods like linocut. It's like you're giving the AI a rapid-fire art history lesson with every single prompt. But okay, let's take it a step further. Beyond just broad styles, you can get way more specific. You can actually invoke the names of individual artists to channel their unique look and feel directly into your work. Mentioning an artist's name is the ultimate creative shorthand. You say, in the style of Wes Anderson, and boom, the AI instantly knows you want flat symmetry, pastel colors, and that quirky, nostalgic vibe. Every name, whether it's Tim Burton's gothic whimsy or Mobius's clean sci-fi lines, taps into a whole universe of style. All right, now we're getting into the really technical stuff. This is where you're not just describing a scene with words anymore. You're giving direct commands to the machine, using these things called parameters to control the output in really precise ways. So check this out. This style reference command, or -sref, instead of trying to describe a style with a dozen keywords, you can just point to an image you like and say, make it look like this. There's even a random command that lets the AI just surprise you, which is a great way to discover totally new styles. And this was a total game changer. Character reference, or -cref. This directly solved one of the biggest requests from users, which was, how do I get the same person to show up in different pictures? This command finally brought character consistency, which, if you're trying to tell a story, is absolutely crucial. So you can see how all these different elements stack together, right? You start with your subject, you layer on styles like pastel goth, you add technical stuff like the aspect ratio, and then you use a character reference to lock in her appearance. You're basically building a recipe, going from a simple idea to a super specific, repeatable creation. So what's next? I mean, this language is not sitting still. It is constantly being pushed forward by the community's imagination, by their desire for more control, and, just wild, new creative possibilities. And what's really cool is that the developers are clearly listening. For the longest time, the #1 request was consistent characters. And, like we just saw, they delivered that with the Cref feature. It's a perfect example of how the community's needs are directly shaping the future of the tool. And the ambitions for the future, they are huge. When you look at what people are asking for, you see a really clear path forward. They want to go from still images to video, from 2D to 3D models, and they want more intuitive, real-time ways to create. So when you step back and look at the whole picture, the story of AI art isn't just about a machine learning how to draw. It's really about a conversation. It's a collaboration between our creativity and the machine's capability, and both sides are constantly learning from each other. Which, of course, leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. As we all get better and better at speaking this new language, we're not just creating images. We're asking some pretty fundamental questions about what creativity even is. And maybe, just maybe, we're redefining what it means to be an artist in the first place.